Hi guys, and welcome to episode 7 of How I Tank. Are we up to episode 7 already? This is a series where I give some hints and tips, basically showing how I play World of Tanks, or ways I improved, or ways I used to improve my gameplay. And today's episode is XVM. Now, it's not just XVM, but we are going to spend a little bit of time talking about XVM and how it can actually help you become a better player. It's not about stats. Anyone who watches my stream or has been watching my videos knows that stats really aren't at the top of my agenda. If I wanted to have fantastic efficiency, I would be playing high tier games all the time. I play World of Tanks to have fun. I play all tiers to have fun. I play horrible, crappy tanks to have, well, not fun, but simply to have experienced them. I don't free XP my way through tanks. I play every tank no matter how good or bad it is. So how do I use XVM to improve my game if I'm not that interested in stats? Well, I may not be that interested in my own stats other than how I'm progressing as a player, and I like to see the stats creep up, but I really use XVM to see other people's stats. Now, we're going to use this game as an example of how I've improved myself as a better player throughout the last year. It's a tier 8 game. I am platooned with Beyond D in his T-34-3, and we are here on Airfield. Now, looking at our team, we can see that we've got some pretty good players. There's Beyond on a 63% win ratio. We've got a guy called Himmelfahrts Commando, very nice name, on a 57% win rate. We've got myself on 55%. We've got a guy called Noija in his T28. He's on a 54%. So it's actually looking quite good. We've got some good players on our team, and we've got a couple of average players. But that's not the whole story. If we hit tab with XVM installed, and I'm going to give you the link to the XVM installer that I use below this video, but if we hit tab, this is a 40% game. So the global chance to win is 40%. Per vehicle is 40%. That means the enemy team have what are determined to be more overpowered vehicles than ours. Experience-wise, again, it's a 40%er. So the enemy team are vastly more experienced than we are. If we look at the first column, where I've got 17,000 games played, Beyond has 20,000, Noija has 12,000, and Himmelfahrts Commando has 20,000, the rest of our team are very inexperienced. One of our arty has 7,000 games played, but most of our teams seem to be 2,000, 3,000, 1,000 games. So, really, in this game, one thing I learned is a lot of the more experienced players still consider you a noob till you have at least about 10,000 games played. But our team is hugely inexperienced compared to the other team. When we look at the other team, they only have 2 players with less than 5,000 games. They have a 2000 K112, they have a 1000 game 88. The next least experienced player has 5,000 games in the T21. And then the rest of the enemy team are hugely experienced. So this is where XVM helps me a lot. I know that this is going to be a very difficult game. So how do I use these win percentages? Well, basically, when I see a win to chance of around 40%, personally, I'm going to be playing a lot more defensively. I'm expecting a lot of my team to die early. I'm expecting a lot of my team to die fast. And I'm not expecting too much from them, to be honest. They just aren't experienced enough. So in order to get some damage out of this game and maybe have an impact, I'm going to be playing defensively. And I do this in a lot of games. If you watch me playing the stream, I usually always, 99% of the time, check the win chance at the beginning. Not that I'm dreading losing, but it's just I view it as a more difficult match to win. I have won 30%ers, I have won 40%ers. It's possible to win those games, but you've just got to play that bit harder and you can't rely on your teammates as much. And that's how I use it. On the flip side of the coin, when the win percentage chance is above 50%, when it's close to 60, 70 or even 80%, then I know that I am not going to be playing defensively. I'm going to be playing very aggressively, because our team have far more experience and far better stats than the enemy's team, and in order to get any XP and any damage done, I need to be on the front line. I need to be doing damage. Playing defensively in a high win chance game usually results in a very poor game where most of the enemy die before you get anywhere near them. Again, it's not the golden rule. I have lost 80%ers, I have lost 70%ers because our team were too aggressive, or because they all lemming trained down one flank, because they were just overconfident. But by rule of thumb, if it's a low win chance percentage game, I am going to be playing more defensively. If it's a high win percentage game, I play more aggressively, and that is basically how I use XVM. So this is a low percentage game, and we are just going to speed it up here, and I'm going to show you the other reason I use XVM. So again, we're on airfield. So I'm doing some work. Beyond has decided to push the hill. I'm covering and sniping, playing defensively from this position. And as you can see, our entire team have split. Half our team have gone to the BC lines, and the other team are all on the HJ line. We have no one in the middle. So I've just been spotted and I've just taken a shot. So I pull back a little bit, and unfortunately RT has now got me zoned in. I've been spotted over here, so they're pre-aiming. I'm still trying to expose as little of my tank as possible, but I've just taken another shot. I pull back. I straighten up so I don't get shot from either flank, and RT lands a shot straight onto my engine deck. So there we go, 2 hit. Second shot was 1,199, so 1,200 damage done in a single shot from RT. Damn it. Okay, so our team are massively losing. We have lost, we're down 3 tanks already. We're 3 minutes into the game. I haven't had that much impact. The enemy team have only lost 1 tank. So it could be worse, but things are going to get a heck of a lot worse. Now let's get back to the point of the video. XVM. The other thing I use XVM for, and I used it a lot in the past, not so much now, because now that my efficiency rating has improved, and I believe I've improved as a player, usually I'm one of the top efficiency players on my team. But not when I'm playing with Beyond. I'm lucky enough to know Beyond and be friends with Beyond. So if you take a look at the efficiency ratings on our team, Beyond has an efficiency rating of 96. Wow. So Beyond is a Unicum, and my own efficiency rating is paltry. It's horrible as a result at 73. But even so, if I wasn't with Beyond, 73 is usually one of the higher efficiency ratings. We've already lost Himmelsfart Commando on 81 efficiency. So the best player on our team now is Beyond. And it doesn't matter whether or not I would be platooned with him, but if ever I die and there's a player with better efficiency on my team, what I immediately do is I switch to their camera and I watch how they play. So at the moment I am silently cursing silently cursing Artie. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to I'm going to go, there we go. So I head over to Beyond Cam. So Beyond is a fantastic player. It doesn't matter whether or not I know him or I'm platooned with him or he's a stranger. This is what I would do. If I die early in a match, when I'm not streaming, of course. When I'm streaming, I need to keep the action going. But if I'm not streaming, and while I was an average player and trying to improve my game, I was basically watching Beyond's movements, or the best player on my team's movements. I would check out the higher efficiency players and I would see how they are playing. So now Beyond is in trouble. There's just a light tank and a medium fighting two heavies on the J line, but our northern flank has collapsed, and Beyond has a TD on top of the hill who's spotting him. We are down to 5 tanks left already. It's still pretty close. Enemy team are down to 6 tanks. So instead of fighting on his own on the hill with no support, Beyond falls back. And that's what a good player will do. He's reading the minimap, he's aware of what's happening, and he has decided to fall back because he knows that these guys are going to be advancing up here, and they have. So he also knows Artie is going to be aiming in his general direction, so he's staying on the move and he moves away from where he was spotted. And we've just lost our T-25-2, SU-100 still on the hill. So Beyond is now nowhere where he was last spotted, nowhere near where he was last spotted. Enemy team are expecting him to be on K2, but he is relocated. But the SU-100 is spotting from the hill. Enemy Artie is still raining down fire. And we are down another tank. And those two heavies have now, or the AT-15 and the 112 have now advanced up. Beyond has been spotted again. So again, he's reversing, he's staying on the move. And now he realizes that he's got no one on his team left. So he ignores the AT-15, and the 112 is a bigger threat. He gets tracked, repairs quickly, puts a shot into the 112. AT-15 is focusing on his teammate, so keeping on the move, avoiding Artie. Beyond needs to take out the 112, it's a bigger threat. Okay, so now he can focus on the AT-15. Takes a shot, stays on the move, avoids Artie. Unfortunately, he misses a shot. So again, he's trying to force this AT-15 to stand and fight, and he gets to the side. But at the moment, it's 1v4. There's an SU-100 on the hill shooting him, and 2 Artie, and there's still an AT-7 around here somewhere. But Beyond gets into a position where the AT-15 can't hurt him. AT-15's a very heavy tank though, so there is a chance he's going to be able to wedge Beyond in. Beyond takes a big hit by Artie. But this is an impossible situation, but yet Beyond makes the best of it. He's trying to stay safe from the SU-100 by staying on one side of the AT-15. But unfortunately he gets tracked, and that lets the AT-15 pull back, and that's the end of Beyond. So, a sad defeat, but some very good play from a very good player who has very good efficiency. And that is how I tank. Not so much anymore, but guys, if you have XVM installed, it gives you an advantage over those who don't. Not much of one, it depends on how you use it. If you have some very, very good players on your team, when you die, don't rage quit, don't go back to the garage to jump into another tank. If you're serious about improving your game, go into spectator mode, use XVM to find out who the best players on your team are, see if there's a player who's better than you, and watch them play. See if you can learn from them. Like I say, I don't do it that often anymore because I'm streaming and I usually want to keep the action rolling, but that is how I used to tank and still occasionally do when I'm lucky enough to have Beyond in my platoon. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.